to this now. A unique mathematics and science revision program aims to tackle South Africa's most pressing issues, such as youth unemployment, economic growth, as well as the energy crisis in South Africa. Now, the 2022 Educate Matric Mathematics and Science revision program focuses on the importance of creating a youth and young population of problem solvers who are equipped with the right skills for an evolving world. But to tell us more, of course, about this, I'm now joined by lead specialist at Liberty, that's Nomaxabiso Matjila, who joins us now via Zoom, of course, to tackle this topic. Nomaxabiso, thank you for your time, and good morning to you. I'm interested to know more about this revision program. What exactly is it all about?
Thank you for having me this morning. The revision program is really an education-tainment program, which is implemented by Prime Stars, which is our youth development company, and other various partnerships that have partnered with the program. It is an event in-person cinema format at Stekinekos all across the provinces. And it also has the face-to-face digital platforms, various digital platforms that can be accessed for the maths and revision of the maths and science revision.
Right. I mentioned earlier on that you're positioning young people to be more problem solvers and to be a population that solves some of the most pressing issues in the country. How important is it that you groom them while they're still young?
I think it's very important because if you don't groom them, I mean, if you look at this is the part of the high schools that is very critical in preparing them to be ready for the next level, whether they decide to go into tertiary institutions or they venture into entrepreneurship. So this is the most critical time. And I think for us, it's quite important to reach them in very innovative ways. Youth are very sophisticated now. I mean, they're into various medias of social media. We've seen what they can achieve at a short space of time. So we're in a digital space and we're giving them an opportunity of where they can be met.
Yeah, and I'm certain maths and science, those are some of the key STEM subjects that you are using, of course, to mold them, to mentor these young people. And because there are other, subjects like accounting, business sciences. But as you mentioned, we're in a tech world, we're in a digitally driven world, and it's important to incorporate STEM in solving some of the country's pressing issues.
I mean, you've seen if you look at the skills shortages of the country and the skills gap, a various list of these various list of the skills that are needed. They really want mathematics and science. I mean, if you look at the infrastructure problem that we're currently having, if you look at the energy crisis that we're currently having, in order for us to solve our economic problem in terms of investments, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the basic needs, look at what the flooding has done. Look at the unrest, what it has done. So all of those solutions will be really solved by people that have studied STEM. You look at the crisis of COVID-19, for example, would need various people that are going to the medicine field in order for us to solve those problems. And really, the importance of science and maths is key here. And I think ingraining it at the beginning, before, even if you were to go into entrepreneurship, for example, the basis of maths is quite important there.
Yeah, I have to ask this question in because we've addressed it on ENCA, quite a number of times. I mean, people with rare skills that we need in the country, leaving South Africa, seeking opportunities outside the borders of this country because of the issues that we're talking about, right? Where the economy is right now, inflation rates, lack of job opportunities. How will you address this with young people to almost have a conversation about a level of patriotism to say, we are imparting these skills because we need you to have these skills so that you can build and rebuild the country, as opposed to taking these skills and then leaving South Africa and only, of course, implementing them elsewhere?
I think for us it's quite important. I mean, if you look at this program, it is a Black-owned youth development program that is done by Prime Stars. But on top of that, ourselves as Liberty, we're a financial institution. And I mean, we believe in improving people's lives by making their financial freedom possible. But on top of that, we are not the only one that are investing in this program. There are other public-private partnerships, other companies are there. Certainly the Department of Education is there. But I think once corporates are involved in such programs, I think the youth will start to see that we are trying to really upskill the communities in which we operate in. And I mean, we are the people that will have to solve those issues. If not, I think there's something about if you do an investment, youth will start follow, or people generally will start follow and certainly become loyal. And hopefully what we're trying to achieve is that when you find means and when you have achieved, hopefully you can come back and invest in such programs because the economy needs you.
Yeah. No, definitely the economy needs more young people with these skills. Nomaxabiso, so just my last question to you. What's the sustainability model for this program? Is it more of a once-off? Is there a long-term strategy to ensure that this is just not in the interim or short-term, but more young people over, the coming years and in the future get to benefit from this program?
So the program is actually not new. I mean, Educate with Prime Stars has been in existence since 2010. But I think we've seen the height of COVID, what it has done to the education system. So it's quite important for us to really rally behind our NGOs, our NPOs, our NPCs that are doing great work on the ground. And I think for the sustainability, we would not be able to have this systematically if it was not for the DBE being part of it, because they are the custodian of education in the country, especially in the public sector. And also, I mean, if you're embedding such programs with partnership like your private sector, I think they're able to, the program is able to run on its own. And I think us appearing here with yourselves in the ENCA is to spread the word and making sure that that this program, there's more people that are aware of it, and so that they can come and invest in it. And I think for me, the very important part is that measuring of the project is quite important for us to see if we are really making an improvement. So we always challenge whoever we partner with as Liberty to make sure that we find a way of how to measure the impact, so then we can grow from it and we have lessons learned from it.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, I appreciate you, of course, availing yourself to speak to us about this very important program benefiting not only the young people that are receiving the skills, but, of course, the country as a beneficiary of these skills as well in the long term. Lead specialist at Liberty, Nomaxabiso Matjila, thank you so much for your time this morning.